Just a few things to iron out.
You know, we got a few little wrinkles to iron out yet, but that secret plan I was telling you about?
We had a few problems we had to iron out.
Welcome to TalkWord, where we explore the meaning, origin, and real-world usage of English words. So, let's jump right in and look at understanding iron out. Picture this. You and a friend are assembling some of that flat pack furniture. You know the kind, right? It starts off perfectly fine, but suddenly the instructions look like this impossible tangled maze. Next thing you know, you've got a shelf that is just hilariously crooked, and to top it all off, you realize those leftover screws you have? Yeah, they actually belong exactly where you just hammered in the wooden pegs. So now you're both arguing over what on earth to do next. It's a completely absurd, messy situation. But instead of throwing in the towel and giving up, you both just hit pause. You talk through each issue, you reorganize those messy instructions, and you fix the problems one by one. And eventually, the whole piece of furniture comes together smoothly. Getting to that highly satisfying moment when everything finally just works, that is exactly why today's phrase is iron out. To iron out something simply means to resolve difficulties or to settle details so that something can proceed smoothly. Now, a really useful thing to remember here is that this phrase is specifically for your manageable problems. We're talking about things like minor disagreements or little details that you can fix through a quick chat or some basic practical action. You wouldn't really use this for a massive, life-altering crisis, you know? To really lock this in your memory, let's bring it right back to our furniture disaster. I want you to literally imagine a hot clothing iron, picture it physically flattening out those wrinkled, tangled instructions, pressing down that crooked shelf so it's perfectly straight, and just smoothing out those messy, arguing speech bubbles floating between you and your friend. Now, obviously, the everyday meaning here is completely figurative. Please do not actually take a hot iron to your brand new bookshelf. But that vivid image, it perfectly captures exactly what you're doing when you use this phrase in real life. Okay, let's talk about how to actually build sentences with this, because the grammar here is actually super interesting. Iron out is what we call a separable phrasal verb. That just means you can keep the words together and say iron out the details, or you can totally separate them and say iron the details out. Both are completely 100% correct. But here is the golden rule you absolutely need to watch out for. If you are using a pronoun, like them, it has to go right in the middle. You always say iron them out. You never say iron out them. Let's see how this sounds in natural, everyday conversation, so you can start using it right away. You might turn to a coworker and say, "Hey, we just need to iron out the details." Or maybe, "Let's iron out a few problems before we launch this project." You can iron out differences with a stubborn friend, or even iron out the wrinkles of a brand new plan. And remembering that pronoun rule we just talked about, if someone asks if you fixed the issues, you can just confidently say, "Yep, we managed to iron them out." All right. Let's do a super quick recap. To iron out something is to resolve its difficulties or settle its details so things can move forward smoothly. If you want to explore more English words like this, check out the companion app, TalkWord, where you can listen to podcast-style explanations of any English word. So, before you go, I want you to think about your own week ahead. What is one minor problem or disagreement you need to iron out right now? Think about it, and I'll catch you next time.